and see what's happening there. In the headlines for tonight, transfer requested for Form 1 students. We're going to talk about that. And gas station robbery, we're going to talk about that. We started telling you about that last night. And men on housebreaking and stealing charges remanded. That too we'll talk about. And harsher penalties we have heard for Soursop thieves. And the PM, disappointed boy. With Carnival-Like events over the past 2 days. Yeah, what? Meeting in the House of Representatives. PM talk, boy, man. You know what I mean? Blow off some steam. We're going to talk about that. And a former police officer held for rape of a Venezuelan teenager in Trinidad and Tobago. Very sad story. We're going to talk about that. And the motorcyclist lodged into a bus engine in St. Lucia. They've been having a lot of accidents and so on, you know, but we're going to talk about that and more when we return on tonight's Mikey Live program, folks. We got to let you know that this program is the headlines is brought to you through the kind compliments of the good folks at the Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Nawasa Digital, and the Housing Authority of Grenada. So when we return, it could be real news in all the Lily Lolo. So brace all yourself, no man. The thing coming, you know what I mean? Get yourself comfortable, get your thing to drink, your thing to eat, and things like that, because we are here. You know, to have a good time. It's not just about telling you about the news and so on, but of course, we want to make sure it's not too, you know, it's light and fun. All right? So yeah. So we're coming back. Stay there.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a Communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal, join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis, Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
Do you suffer from pain in your back, knees, or joints and need effective pain relief? Get your life back with Omega XL, a natural, safe, anti-inflammatory supplement. This small soft gel has up to 22 times more omega-3 free fatty acids than fish oil and is backed by 30 years of clinical research.
Thanks to Omega XL, I don't have that same pain anymore.
Live the life you deserve and get the relief you need. Get Omega XL now at your local pharmacy.
Welcome to SPS Barrel Service, a new online retail shop where you can purchase pre-packed grocery barrels or customize your own barrel. SPS offers groceries, home supplies, pharmaceuticals, clothing, and ships to South America and the Caribbean. With access to high-quality products, affordable pricing, and fast shipping, SPS saves you time, storage, and money. Send barrels to your family members anywhere in the world. Family members can ship to you, or you can shop and ship to yourself. Visit us at spsbarrelservice.com or call 416-567-3553. SPS Barrel Service. You shop, we pack, we ship.
Alrighty then, so here we are again, and again, it's another official welcome to you to another Mikey Live program. Now, specific focus is being placed on addressing the impacts of climate change as the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, through support provided by the Caribbean Aqua-Terrestrials CATS project, offers technical support in irrigation technology to 2 farmers. Yeah, that's right. They're offering that to farmers organizations and the Northeast Farmers Organization and the Carriacou Farmers Organization. All right. Now, the Minister for Agriculture and Lands, Honorable. Yeah, I can't even pretend. I believe Smallman unplugged my monitor again or something. It just went off for a few seconds, and I'm here praying to God that it comes back on. Right. So the Minister for Agriculture and Lands, Honorable Yulan Bean Hosford, recently handed over the equipment to the president of the 2 benefiting farmers organizations. The equipment include main and secondary irrigation pipes, drip irrigation lines, and micro sprinklers and pumps that will allow the farmers to become more productive with access to water. Now, speaking during the handover ceremony, the Minister of Agriculture, that's Bean Hosford, said that the ministry continues to make valuable investments into projects like these. We've posted an entire article on this on our website, mikeylive.com. Now, the Ministry of Education, Human Resource Development, Religious Affairs and Information regrets, they say, to inform that due to enrollment constraints at the Form 1 level in most secondary schools and the large number of persons who applied for transfers, it was not possible to reassign many of the new Form 1 students as requested. They said that unsuccessful applicants have since been notified via the MSTAR help desk from the email account mstargrenada@gmail.com. Now, all applicants, you're urged to check your email accounts to establish the status of your request. The ministry said they'd like to apologize for this delay response. All right, regrettably, this way due to they say that regrettably, sorry, this was due to the challenges encountered with the processing of the large number of applications received. Now, we had several persons calling in to us with that concern, and so the ministry is explaining why it took so long and what the outcome of the process is. Now, we have received quite a bit of reports after coming off the program last night about an armed robbery at the Botanical Gardens gas station in Tantine, St. George. All right. Now, it is our understanding that the incident happened somewhere within the last night. You know, while we were on the program, we got that information as soon as we came on the program, in fact. All right. The robbers are said to have escaped with an undisclosed amount of cash. All right. One of our sources said that they held the gas station up at gunpoint. All right. Well, when we say the gas station, the person's in there. All right, at gunpoint at gas station. And one of our sources also said that when they passed, there was a police presence as police were conducting investigations into that robbery. 2 men who appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday, 10th August 2020, charged in connection with a slew of property offences, have been remanded to Her Majesty's Prison. Karen Frederick, 40 years, painter of Beausejour, St. George, has been charged with 10 counts of damage to property, 3 counts of housebreaking and stealing and 1 count of housebreaking, while Lyndon Lambert, 37, of Paddock, St. George, has been charged with 4 counts of damage to property and 2 counts each of housebreaking and stealing, respectively. Frederick and Lambert are alleged to have committed the offenses during the period July 27th, 2020 and August 3rd, 2020, targeting several private homes, businesses, and vehicles. And police say that their investigations are continuing. In the House of Representatives today, they enacted a law instituting harsher penalties for persons who steal items of other people's gardens, giving specific attention to Soursop. Soursop is now the golden thing right now. Alright? But the Soursop farmers are complaining that their produce is being stolen, you know, in large quantities. You understand? So the offenders of predial larceny will now find that they will have stiffer penalties, sorry my French, when it comes to stealing Soursop. They say there's been a plethora of reports concerning the stealing of Soursop and the need to protect Grenada's export market in this regard. So they made the necessary adjustments and enacted law that will support stiffer penalties for persons who steal Soursop. Please be guided accordingly. Next thing you see them Soursop thief going protesting down here. No! I'm putting nothing past all there now. Because these last wrongs are fine all different. You understand? So the bill was supported by most of the members, you know, well, of course. You understand? Yeah, boy. So, yeah, boy. All you. Today, Grenada's Prime Minister come out spitting fire. House of Representatives, the PM speaking on recent developments as it relates to Carnival-like activities happening in the absence of Carnival and in the presence of the threat of the COVID-19. The Prime Minister, Mr. Speaker, was perturbed by the recent developments. Prime Minister says it's not about votes for him. I mean, if you lose a few votes, but save a few lives, Mr. Speaker, well, that's good. Prime Minister says he's very concerned. You understand? And I'm just, you know, reenacting. You know? He says he's very concerned with what he has seen. He says, as a government, there will be times when decisions will be made and it might be unpopular. But it is necessary, he says, in the best interest of the country.
It means that one person can cause massive problem. One, not two, you know. Not 2 and 3. One. So you could be in a job jumping up because particles go all over the place. You're drinking. So if you have 500 person, 200 person, 300 person, you could imagine the massive infection that could possibly occur, because we don't know the answer yet. We don't know the answer yet, Mr. Speaker. We pray. We better pray. We have none. Because the persons who are doing and disobeying the law of the land, they may not bear the major consequences, you know. They could bring it home to their loved ones or the family, the older members, or persons with underlying health problems and cause major problems health-wise. In 5 and 6 ICU unit in Grenada. And you know what will happen? They'll come, Prime Minister, my family is sick. We need help. We need to send him to Barbados, to Trinidad, because the heart in trouble, the kidney going, because we don't, the infective all this. You'll hear the stories, and if you can't find it, then cost for you. But in other words, we're not thinking. The question you ask yourself, there's some innocence in this, but I'm concerned there's some people behind the scene pushing a particular narrative. And the fact is, Mr. Speaker, what's unfortunate, they themselves could face the consequences of that unfortunate decision.
That's Grenada's Prime Minister speaking on the matter. He says, you have to do what's right, even if it will cost you a few votes.
It seems to me, we as a government, and as Prime Minister, I have a fundamental responsibility, and I will not shirk that responsibility. I will continue to speak. I will continue to advise. I will continue to do what I believe is right. Even there are some people who are prepared to cuss. That's their right, but not do it in a way that breaks the law of the land. And I'm not worried, Mr. Speaker, about some votes. That's not about votes. So you get votes and you die? What point you still can't vote? Or you lose some votes, but you save lives? So be it, Mr. Speaker. We are here about the protection of this country, not to play games with people. And I don't care at what level they come from. Whether they name politician, whether they name lawyer, whether they name cultural artist, it does not matter. What matters is we must do what is right in the interest of this country.
All right, Mr. PM, thank you very much for that. Now, we're going to take practice, Mr. PM. When you're ready and you're tired, give me the work. The PM says that some people are taking this for a joke. It is no joke. He says it's serious matter. And on the point of why did the police do nothing about it, the Prime Minister says, well, you know what, let me not even tell you what the Prime Minister says, you know. Because the Prime Minister let talk for himself.
The point I'm making is, it's unfortunate, like, it seems like it's a joke. This is not a joke. It is not a joke. Have we expected the police to go and arrest 500 people? We expect the police would go into anywhere and just pick up people and put them in jail. The next thing you hear, police try to arrest a few job men, and next thing you hear, the police themselves get sick. So in effect, it's dangerous to ask them to do this. Who is winning in this, Mr. Speaker? Who is winning? And who is being hurt? Keith Mitchell? NNP? Ministers of government? No. It's unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, the same persons who are on the hoopla over the COVID-19 bill, we need to hear them now. Where are the voices? The same concern must now be demonstrated, because your family and friends and your country could be in trouble. And some people are glad to take all this fancy stuff that sends terrible message. People almost naked and send it all over like Grenada is a madhouse. Promoting that, you know, it's a big joke. F minister, F prime minister, F this. Sir, who? Me? I'm sorry. Well, they're not respecting themselves. No one hurting me. We're just hurting ourselves. And I'm concerned about the innocent ones. I'm concerned about everybody, but particularly the ones that seem not to know what they were doing, Mr. Speaker.
And that's the thing about it. You could agree to disagree and agree or disagree. But the matter is that the disease itself, the virus itself, is a virus that spreads. So you can simply make a decision to do whatever you want because of whatever reason. But the point remains that if you happen to contract that virus, people who have made an opposing decision than you did could also pay for your discretion or indiscretion. You see? So it's supposed to be some sort of thought that you're not just thinking about yourself, but others. You understand? And it's a crazy situation that we are dealing with. It's really a crazy... The Prime Minister says no stimulus package if there is an outbreak as a result of this. There's no money. So people can't come to them to say, well, things get hard because there's an outbreak. And so he says, no, we don't have money for that. Yes, well, somebody say Peter pay for Paul, Paul pay for all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, boy, it's a sticky situation. I hear people saying, well, is it cyber monarch that caused that? Is it cyber monarch that caused you to go risk your life? Well, what the... Yo! Anyway. They say, well, joke for children is dead for crap. I'll leave that one day and see what happens in the next 6, 7, 8 days. You understand? As it relates to the video that was being circulated yesterday, and it was shown on, how to call it in program. What's the name again anyway? That's a non-factor. They are saying that the video was taken out at another part of the facility where persons are not being housed, and that it was a misleading video and ting. I think most of you might have already seen that video, so it makes no sense showing it to you with what ministers said and so on. You know, there are some things that we try to not to put out there if we cannot verify some information. So yeah, you might not have seen that video on our page because when we would have taken all into consideration, we thought it best, you know, to not push that story out there like that until we are certain of what the claims were, and that we could have created some sort of balance on it as well. All right. Now we are moving on. How are we looking for time? All you. Some of you might have seen that video and read that story regarding that teenager, that Venezuelan teenager who were raped and left for dead. Now today it's been reported in the Trinidad news that a police officer who is on suspension is likely responsible for that incident.
A suspended police officer has been held in relation to the rape and stabbing of a Venezuelan teenager. According to reports, the 18-year-old empanada vendor was headed to San Fernando to conduct her business when she took a car with a private license plate in Faizabad. She was blindfolded, tied up, and taken to a dirt road off the M2 Ring Road in Debe, where she was violated, robbed, and left for dead. Another PH taxi driver with passengers saw the young woman lying at the side of the M2 Ring Road and stopped to help her. TTT News understands the vehicle in which the victim was abducted was identified with the help of CCTV footage. It is said to belong to the suspect.
Yo, yes. But PM want a second wrong, but you don't see how good PM want wrong too, you know. PM want to talk again? Alright, don't worry yourself. We'll talk, yeah, maybe we could. So we will try to work on an interview with the authorities, possibly the Ministry of Tourism, because there seem to be some adjustments and so on as it relates to persons who will be coming into Grenada and quarantine protocols and so on. There's a lot of gray areas where that is concerned, and I think that we need to get some clarity on it, and so we would work to having probably the minister or someone with enough information to speak about the protocols. All right, some persons are still unsure, even I unsure to some degree in terms of what happens when, where, how, and why. Folks, we are moving on in tonight's news again, and the next story might just be a little graphic for those who are sensitive towards these kind of footages. Now, another motorcyclist is dead as a result of a crash in St. Lucia. Now, the motorcyclist, according to one eyewitness, was speeding and collided like head-on with an oncoming vehicle. That was really a sad thing to watch. The footage of that incident went viral, and now we are hearing from police about that particular incident.
More carnage on the island's roadways with yet another road crash involving a two-wheeled vehicle. There appears to be no end to the epidemic of motorcycle-involved collisions. Traffic was backed up for miles in the town of Vieux Fort following a head-on collision between a commuter bus and a motorbike. Video of the violent crash went viral Tuesday afternoon with graphic images of a hapless motorcyclist apparently lodged in what appears to be the engine block of the badly damaged bus. The accident reportedly occurred at about 3:28 p.m. on the Vieux Fort Labrie Highway near the True Value building and hardware supplies store. The details on the traffic accident are still emerging. Southern correspondent Desmond Collymore spoke to an eyewitness on condition of anonymity.
Well, what I could say, I sat by my shop, sitting on my shop rather, and I heard the motorcycle was going on with some real speed. And the last thing I saw was the minibus dragging at least maybe 40 feet. And there was that vehicle who was leaving True Value's entrance. And I believe that's what that had the guy to, he tried to get away from the vehicle that was getting away from True Value entrance. And that's what I believe had the impact.
The rider, who was reportedly wearing a helmet, was whisked away to hospital for treatment. His status was not known at news time. Passengers on the bus were also taken to the hospital. The motorcyclist sustained multiple injuries.
What was the extent of his injuries, the guy on the bike?
Very, very, very bad. Because he actually stuck under the vehicle, and they had to have a few guys to come and lift the vehicle out, lift up the vehicle on him. So it's very, very bad.
You have any idea how many people were on board the transit?
Maybe about 6 people, and I felt sorry for a little girl. She was about what, 6 years. She took some injuries too.
St. Lucia has witnessed a spike in road crashes as the island's economy and populace emerge from the pandemic lockdown. However, observers are particularly unnerved by the recent disproportionate number of motorbike collisions. Concerned citizens are reiterating calls for more aggressive public awareness road safety campaigns, as well as a law enforcement crackdown on traffic violations. Colby DeVoe, HTS News Force.
Thank you guys from the HTS News Force, and I'm showing you this because of course we still do have persons who are abusing the roads by use of motorcycles and so on. In fact, there was a young man who was involved in a motor vehicle collision. He was a driver of a vehicle that crashed with a motorcyclist, and the motorcyclist died. I saw him speeding last weekend. And so if these incidents are not moving you, what else will? And so we have to also remember that if it is not our lives that we are risking, it's possibly that of others. And so when you're thinking about getting a little adrenaline rush, you may need to think about somebody's father, mother, sister, daughter, cousin, friend, husband or wife who might just be the victim of your indiscretion. All right. We are continuing, and folks, I think this is a good time to again invite you to follow our page if you have not yet done so, and as well like the page, all right, and continue to visit our website, that is Mikey Live, MikeyLive.com, for your latest news. We are taking a break, and when we return, we've got the national report and the weather.
At Communal, we are adapting to meet the changing needs of our shareholders and members. Times are changing, and with the changing times comes a whole new way to do business. Our parents may have done their banking a different way. Communal's state-of-the-art online banking and international debit card allows members to do business with great ease. It's like literally having a branch in your very own hands. Need a loan? Apply online from the comfort of your own home anywhere in the world, and your request will be dealt with remotely. Want to transfer between your accounts or another shareholder? No wait time for transactions to update. Voila! Who needs receipts when you can receive them via e-statements on your mobile device and save the environment? Not a communal member? You can join our family today by applying online. At Communal, we see you working hard to ensure that you save, invest, and grow. Communal. Join us today. This will be the best financial decision you have ever made. My name is Hollis, Mr. Killer Map, and I endorse this message.
How going on, boy?
Hey, good old things.
Hey, easy.
Yeah.
Boy, in line, boy. Your house looking a real good day.
Boy, it's thanks to the hard-working and professional staff at the Housing Authority of Grenada. They handled me real nice. They did my plan, they did the construction, and I didn't even have to worry about a thing. They were there with me every step of the way, supervising the job, asking me about my concerns, giving me feedback as the house took shape. They were there from start to finish, and even put the keys in the palm of my hand. I give them an A++ for customer service.
Oh, it's people from housing bad, boy.
Boy, not bad. Excellent. If you're thinking about constructing your home, why not consult the Housing Authority of Grenada? You could visit them right down in the Sandino complex, or give them a call 440-1015 or 440-1016, or check out their website hag473.com. They go handle you. They go jog your blocks, they go draw your plan, they go tote your materials. Hey man, where you going? The Housing Authority of Grenada is your choice for affordable housing and a stress-free construction experience.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
To deal with the dry season and the current demand for constant hand washing, you require adequate water storage. Tough times require smart solutions. Invest in a water tank that meets the needs of you and your family. Visit On The Spot Hardware and select the tank that suits your needs. Don't have the cash? No problem. Talk to us about the alternative payment option. And don't forget, we deliver right to your doorstep. On The Spot Hardware, the rock where all solid foundations begin.
Okay, Google, what's the hottest topic in Grenada these days?
Scanning social media. Results found. Waggy T's Virtual Bingo.
It's the Waggy T Virtual Bingo! And it's on again on Sunday, August 16th at 6 p.m. and will be held every 2 weeks. Imagine you can win US $10,000. US $10,000? Oi! Tickets cost only $10 US. Available on gotofed.com or at box offices island-wide. We've got DJ music and live performance by Butcher Jab Ledneck. Waggy T's Virtual Bingo. Try it. You will love the excitement. And it's easy to play. Sunday, August 16th. Get ready for Waggy T's Virtual Bingo.
Alrighty then, so you got to prepare yourselves for that one, alright? It is now time for the National Report.
Prime Minister reiterates that government has a fundamental responsibility to protect lives in this COVID period, even if that decision is viewed as unpopular. We'll have details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back with the details to the news for Wednesday, August 12th, 2020. I am Rikisha St. Louis. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell says even when decisions taken by government are not popular with some sections of the society, government will live up to its fundamental responsibility to protect every citizen of the country. Addressing a meeting of the House of Representatives on Wednesday, Dr. Mitchell did not hide his disappointment over the fact that many organized social gatherings and openly flouted the emergency regulations, which remain in effect even after Carnival celebrations were cancelled. He said while the country has done well to keep COVID-19 infections low, with the borders now reopening, all it takes is one infected person to set off a wave of infection.
So you could be in a job jumping up because particles go all over the place. You're drinking. So if you have 500 person, 200 person, 300 person, you could imagine the massive infection that could possibly occur, because we don't know the answer yet. We don't know the answer yet, Mr. Speaker. We pray, we better pray, we have none. Because the persons who are doing and disobeying the law of the land, they may not bear the major consequences, you know. They could bring it home to their loved ones or the family, the older members, or persons with underlying health problems, and cause major problems health-wise.
Dr. Mitchell, who used the opportunity to commend church leaders for their leadership during this challenging period, is concerned about loss of life from irresponsible behavior, as well as the serious economic effect this type of behavior can have on the country's economy. He said this is not about cheap political games, but about his government's responsibility to save lives, even when many do not see the wisdom of the government's actions.
As Prime Minister, I have a fundamental responsibility, and I will not shirk that responsibility. I will continue to speak. I will continue to advise. I will continue to do what I believe is right. Even there some people are prepared to cuss. That's their right, but not do it in a way that breaks the law of the land. And I'm not worried, Mr. Speaker, about some votes. That's not about votes. So you get votes and you die? What point you still can't vote? Or you lose some votes, but you save lives? So be it, Mr. Speaker. We are here about the protection of this country, not to play games with people. And I don't care at what level they come from. Whether they name politician, whether they name lawyer, whether they name cultural artist, it does not matter. What matters is we must do what is right in the interests of this country. We will do, Mr. Speaker, what is right. We will do what will protect this country. This is the mandate that we were given by the people of this country. Not to play games with the lives of the people, but to do what is right, with God's help, to protect every citizen in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Thank you, Mr.
Continuing the news, Parliamentary Representative for St. Patrick West, Honorable Anthony Boson, publicly apologized on Wednesday for the behavior of many who took to the streets of St. Patrick on Tuesday in a carnival-like atmosphere with a total disregard for those in authority. Mr. Boson warned those who believe that all is well because no one has died from COVID-19 in Grenada that we must let good sense prevail in what is now been referred to as the second wave of the virus. He told Wednesday's meeting of the House that he was not totally against social village gatherings once people adhered to the regulations, but he questioned the wisdom of those who risked lives in the manner in which they did for 2 days of fun.
I want to take this opportunity to really send an open apology for what happened in St. Patrick. I wish to apologize, Mr. Speaker, to the Honorable Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, because I saw this as gross disrespect. I also wish to apologize, Mr. Speaker, to our church leaders, and in particular, Bishop Clive Harvey, whose admonitions apparently fell on deaf ears. To all the decent and law-abiding citizens of St. Patrick who placed a higher priority on preserving lives rather than pleasure, I say I apologize to you. To all of our children, Mr. Speaker, who are exposed to this unfortunate example of bad behavior, Mr. Speaker, on part of some, I say I apologize to you as well, Mr. Speaker. Because what they were listening to, Mr. Speaker, was not for the ears. Totally uncalled for and unnecessary.
Mr. Boson highly commended the Royal Grenada Police Force for its level of maturity in dealing with the situation under the guidance of the Minister for National Security and the Commissioner of Police. He said the behavior he witnessed on Tuesday was nothing short of disappointing and meant to taunt those in authority.
What I saw in Surtees, on the streets of Surtees, was a total disregard for the rule of law. A total disregard for the lives of others. If they're not concerned about their own lives, how about the lives of others? And that is what you have to take into consideration. You could say, yes, I don't care. But you not caring, Mr. Speaker, does not mean you cannot impact. You cannot have negative impact on those around you.
This is the National Report. The news continues after the break.
The house was shaking. Then suddenly saw we hear bang, crack, and the roof had gone.
Man, I was so scared, I nearly wet myself.
Only those who have lived it can truly understand the devastating fury of a hurricane's wind.
The house across the road just get up and roll over.
Hurricane force wind. It's a hazard. Hazards. Take control. Reduce your loss. You can hurricane-proof your home. For example, make your roof more wind-resistant by using screws instead of nails in its construction. Find out more about hurricane force winds and other hazards at your local disaster office.
A message from the National Disaster Management Agency and SEDERA.
Welcome back. The lower house on Wednesday passed the Pridi-Larceny Amendment Bill 2020, which seeks to classify soursop as a protected produce, introduce a licensing regime for farmers, buyers and traders, and establish a management unit to ensure, along with the RGPF, that farmers and their produce are protected. For years, government has been working to secure farmers and their produce. In 2004, over 35 police officers were trained to be a part of the task force, an arm of the Royal Grenada Police Force. In 2004, the Pridi-Larceny Task Force was established. There are presently 29 officers attached to the unit. The bill was presented by Agriculture and Lands Minister Honorable Yolan Bain Hosford, who highlighted why the decision was taken to protect soursop.
Soursop, referred to as our green gold in Grenada, Grenada is the only country, Mr. Speaker, that is supplying fresh soursop to the international market. Mr. Speaker, according to our records, we have seen an increase from 51,374 pounds of soursop exported in 2018 to 92,738 pounds in 2019. Mr. Speaker, I recall, even during the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, the demand and export continued, bringing well-needed revenue to the farmers and foreign exchange to this country. Mr. Speaker, for that reason, this market ought to be protected and sustained, and the producers, our hard-working farmers, need to be protected from predialasny.
Minister Bain Hosford says the time has come for local markets to be protected and the farmers and their produce to be respected.
Time for stealing and damaging to property has to stop. Our markets must be protected according to law. Effective management must be practiced and benefits must be enjoyed by all.
There are 3 categories of mandatory licensing under the bill. Licensing for travelers, traders and carriers. A license is required for any weight of over 15 pounds of produce. Failure to comply can result in the fine of $5,000 to $10,000 and imprisonment of up to 4 years. Trade Minister Honorable Oliver Joseph gave support to the bill. He is optimistic that the implementation of mandatory license will save the soursop industry.
This mandatory license that we have there, that is the real thing that will save the industry and ensure that it grows and develops and that all our farmers and by extension our citizens will benefit from a protected industry and that for the long term we can have confidence that we can invest in the Soursop and that it will be a protected industry.
Dr. Clarice Modest Cohen, Minister for Tourism, is concerned about what she sees as a general breakdown of law and order during this challenging period. Addressing Wednesday's meeting of the House, Minister Modest Cohen said some people are making it difficult for those who are already stretched beyond their limit. She wants people to recognize that the government is going above and beyond as efforts continue to ensure that people remain safe.
A few days ago, one individual came and decided he had to go to his home. He would not be quarantined. You know, we have a breakdown of law and order all of a sudden, and people could do just what they want, when they want it, and how they want it. After we have circulated, and the individual, I am told, had signed the agreement to be quarantined, but came here and said all kinds of things about his government and insisted on going home. Staff at the airport had to spend hours there, wasting time to convince that individual to follow the quarantine procedures. Police had to be called. The chief medical officer, who is so busy saving lives, had to be called, Mr. Speaker. And this is very, very pathetic, and I had to speak about that. And then we had another instance after the Air Canada came in, where again some people insisted that they did not have the money, and some of the staff, out of the kindness of their heart, allowed them to stay in a particular facility. And I heard the person on the video asking, where is the budget for the maintenance of this facility? And I just want to say, Mr. Speaker, when we presented a budget for this period of time in this honorable House, there was no line item called COVID. There was nothing called quarantine. So no monies were budgeted for that. But due to the financial prudence of this government and the Minister for Finance and his team, they managed.
The government of Grenada has made it clear in previous communications that prior to traveling to Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique during the COVID-19 pandemic, all returning nationals, among other travelers, must book at a state-approved quarantine facility at their own cost. The Ministry of Health has worked with the Ministry of Tourism and the Grenada Tourism Authority to provide a list of inspected and certified accommodations. This list can be found at puregrenada.com/travel advisory. In very few cases, there have been people who have indicated that due to financial constraints, they are unable to meet the cost of the facilities on the list provided, which range from small guest houses to hotels. Minister Modest Cohen added that while some people may request being quarantined at home, there are certain criteria that must be met and all will be subjected to the criteria. She said what Grenada needs now is for all to work together to ensure all remain safe and healthy.
We are asking that everyone consult all of the websites and they comply with the quarantine. It is the law of the country at this particular point in time, and nobody is above the law. And therefore, if persons do not want to do, then they can wait in the country where they are until the right time comes. Otherwise, let us come in peacefully to our country, and let us not waste the time of people who have other, more important things to do, rather than to be sitting begging with somebody who purports to have common sense and sign a document and then come in here and say you would not quarantine. We have to set better examples, Mr. Speaker, and as we continue, Grenada is open, we continue to have dialogue, and we'll see more airlines coming into our countries. And we beg everyone, visitor, local, otherwise, to adhere to the law of the land.
That story just ended the national report for Wednesday, August 12th, recapping the top story. Prime Minister reiterates that government has a fundamental responsibility to protect lives in this COVID period, even if that decision is viewed as unpopular. On behalf of the entire news team here at the Government Information Service, I am Rikisha St. Louis saying thank you for joining us. Until next time.
Thank you guys, and we'll have another national report program for you guys tomorrow, God's willing. The weather, partly cloudy and breezy with light isolated showers. Tonight's minimum temperature 25.5 degrees Celsius, winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate with 5 feet to 7 feet in open waters. A small craft advisory remains in effect. And let's pick up a few people on the program right now. Those of you who are watching the program for the first time, we officially welcome you. And to the usual suspects, Celine and Lydon, Avril, Michelle, Sheba. We also have with us Karen and Michael, Rose, Ezron, and Mom, and Suzette, Kirin, Shireen, Zaka, and all the other folks. We would like to say thank you for watching, all right? And we are looking forward to another interesting program that will be tomorrow, God's willing. Patsy, hello to you, as well as Atalia. Hello to you on the program too. Who else is with that? Adonna. Hi, Adonna. Thanks for joining us today. Atalia and Joycelyn is with us as well. Hi, Joycelyn. Thank you for joining us, all right? Well, only top fans are a stalker. Gemma, hello to you as well. Who else is with us? I think these are the persons. Yeah, Shireen and everyone else. Man, you know, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. So, folks, we'll touch base again, all right? Be safe, you and your family, until our next program. Let's go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, ja. No. Good night, everyone. And may God richly bless you and your family. Okay? Who else? Yeah. All the folks on YouTube as well. We would like to say thank you to the YouTube viewers for viewing tonight's program. We want to let you know that we appreciate you all the time. So that's where we're going to put a wrap on things again.